and you're watching Tone Deaf TV. I'm here with Ben from Lucero.
Yep. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming.
Of course.
Thank you for making your way down to the hotter by the minute media tent.
Yeah, y'all are kind of at the end of the world over here.
I know it's. I mean, we can see the breeze. We can't
feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, welcome to Melbourne.
Thank you.
Now, you were from one of my favourite places in the entire world, which would be Memphis.
Have you been to Memphis?
I have.
Oh, really?
I love Memphis.
Man,
I can't wait to go back.
It's got some history to it, it's all right.
Just a little bit.
A little bit, the whole rock and roll thing. Yeah.
Now, obviously, Memphis, home of Sun Studios.
Yep.
Jerry Lee Lewis,
Oh,
Elvis, some guy called Johnny Cash.
Yeah, he spent some time there.
Yeah, he keeps popping up.
Yeah.
I can't place him, though. Now, were you ever not going to be involved in music, being brought up in Memphis?
Man, it was what I always wanted to do since I started my first band when I was 14, that kind of thing. But I was actually raised in Little Rock, Arkansas, about 2 hours west, which Johnny Cash is actually from Arkansas.
I've been to their town hall.
Oh, really? All right, there you go. Yeah, it's a nice place.
It's beautiful.
But I ended up following a girl to Memphis a while back, and we're not dating anymore, but the band's still together. So that's how I ended up in Memphis. But yeah, it's a good place. If you're going to be in a rock and roll band, it's a good place to hang out at.
It's definitely one of the better places if you're going to be a rock and roller.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of inspiration around there, and a lot of good musicians, and it's cheap as dirt, so you can actually afford to go on the road. Yeah, no, Memphis is all right. Yeah.
Now, going on the road, you guys are always on the road.
Yeah, for the last 13 years, we just kind of we're not home very often.
Yeah.
So, we don't sell a whole bunch of records, so we have no choice but to go and play live, or else we go broke. So, it's fine with me. I'm not complaining.
Rock and roll is a very, very harsh mistress.
We're still having a good time.
Now, you guys, you've done, I think, 8 records?
I think you're right. It's hard to keep up. Yeah, we were putting out a record a year there for a little while, but now it's every couple of years.
Yeah.
So we've got a whole bunch of songs that we could play.
Yeah. So how do you find it? I mean, obviously you are a band. You're a touring band. That's
right.
How do you get the time, and how do you find the time to write and record? Like, do you try and do it on the road?
I can't. Just because with the writing, I got to be by myself.
Yeah.
I got to be able to concentrate, and on the road you're never by yourself. There's always somebody around, and so it's kind of impossible for me to get anything written on the road. But we go home for long enough and set aside a little bit of time, and usually it's like, all right, we got to go in the studio next month. You need 10 songs by 2 weeks from now, and so I'll just sit down and. You keep notes, and you have ideas that pop up here and there, and you try to jot them down, and then they're there when you need them. So yeah, that's kind of how. There's probably a better way to do it, but that's how I do it. Yeah.
Well, it's definitely working for you.
Thank you.
Now, I think you're one of the only bands on the bill that has a horn section.
Yeah, we didn't bring them with us this time, but in the States, we always travel with a horn section, and that even. Yes, talking about Memphis, with the piano and the B3 organ and the horn section, we've kind of turned into a rock and roll country soul band, which is awesome.
Yes.
Playing rock and roll with a horn section is really, really fun. Yeah, and I don't think there's any bands on Soundwave that have ever played with a horn section, probably.
Well, how are you finding it? You guys have your own sound, and you're on a majorly metal bill.
We stick out like a sore thumb. Yeah, we're kind of the outcasts on this tour, but everybody's super friendly.
Yeah.
And I think even some of the metal dudes, they'll come and watch us. They'll come and watch our set, just kind of for just a little something different, a little break from the really loud stuff. And so we've actually become friends with a bunch of different, the Sword, Red Fang, different fellas. So we're having a good time. Yeah, we're making friends. Yeah, we're a little different sound-wise, but we still hang out and drink whiskey.
That is the universal rock and roll drink. If you drink whiskey, you will
Yeah.
always find company.
Exactly. Yeah, you always got buddies.
So how are you finding the whole Soundwave tour?
It's great. It's run really well. Like, it's a big operation.
Yeah.
But everything seems real organized, and yeah, it's cool. Like, we don't play metal sounding music, but we're all fans of that kind of stuff. We've got a wide range of tastes, but definitely there's some metal bands that I really love.
Yeah.
And some of the bands I don't know, and some of the bands I might be a little too old for, to tell you the truth. Some of the bands on our stage, there's little kids watching them.
Yeah.
And then we just confuse those little kids. We start playing, and they have no idea what's going on. But yeah, overall the festival's great.
Yeah. So before your last album, Women and Work,
Yeah.
just quietly, what a title. Great title.
Thank you very much. It kind of sums it all up. If you threw whiskey in there,
Yeah.
maybe, women, work, and whiskey. Well, I figure if you say women and work, whiskey's kind of implied.
Exactly. You've got two of the big evils thrown in there.
Yeah, and so obviously there's some whiskey in there too.
Before you recorded that, you parted ways with Universal and you went to ATO.
Yep.
Which was founded by Dave Matthews.
Yeah, he's involved with it, and ATO I think is a better fit for us. We only did the one record with Universal.
Yeah.
And it was kind of the same old story that you always hear about major labels. You just kind of get lost in the mix.
Yeah.
And nobody really ever seems to know what to do with you, and then they just kind of forget about you. But with ATO, since it was kind of started by a musician.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it seems to be a better fit. And we've got, My Morning Jacket's on ATO, and Drive By Truckers are on ATO. So there's bands that are similar to us, So yeah, I think it's a good home.
So did leaving a major influence Women and Work?
Nah, not really. Even when we did 1372 Overton Park for Universal, nobody's ever tried to come in and screw with what we're doing. No one's ever told us, oh, you need to have this on the record, or you need to have this kind of song, or nobody's ever told us what to do, which is good. And so really we've just kind of, it's been more, we've added band members, Rick Steff on piano and Todd Bean on pedal steel and the horn section, and then that kind of dictated the direction of the band.
Yeah.
And once we added the new guys, we were just able to do a lot more musically and different types of songs, and we were able to kind of, give a nod to that Memphis history.
Yeah.
And the Stax soul stuff and the Sun Studios kind of rockabilly stuff. When it came time to make Women and Work, we had all those elements, and I just kind of wanted to make a Memphis rock and roll record. So yeah, the label change didn't really have anything to do with it. It's just where the band happened to be at the time.
Yeah. Okay, so where to from here? Man,
it's a good question. Immediately after this, we go home and do a 7-week U.S.-Canadian tour. Yeah. It makes me tired just to say it. We stay out on the road. Hopefully over the summer we get to go home for a little bit and get in the studio and work on some new songs.
Yeah.
That's playing live is really fun, but one of my favorite things is when you get to go in and you've stayed up all night and you've put this song together, and then you take it into the fellas and you just get to hear what they come up with to add to it, and you're like, this is gonna work. All right, this is gonna be really good. And when you first hear it and it's gonna work, it's real exciting. So I'm looking forward to getting back and doing that some.
We're looking forward to hearing more from you.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much for taking some time out of your very busy, hot, sunny day.
Oh yeah,
for chatting with us.
Thank you for chatting with me. It's awesome.
Good times.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
This won't make you stay.